Tomorrow, The Last of Us airs on HBO.
Yeah.
I imagine that you will find the time to watch an hour of HBO every week, whereas you couldn't find the time to sit through the entire 30-hour plus game.
100%.
I don't know whether or not that's good or bad. Like, obviously, if the show is great, that's fantastic, and finally this story will go out to a wider audience. But maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's almost impossible that the show will... Well, it is impossible, because the show is going to be a different thing than the game. Like, the game is a different medium. You tell stories in a different way. You act in it, you write it differently, you act in it differently, you light it, you direct it differently. Like, it's all such a different thing that it can't all be translated. And, as I've said, it's like The Last of Us is pretty much my favorite thing. Like, both those games put together, the way that story is conveyed, it's, out of any TV show or movie or whatever, that's the best version of a story that was effective for me, right? Where, like, I was on the emotional roller coaster, feeling every turn. When you watch movies or things and, like, you can tell they're trying to make you feel a way, but you don't quite feel it. It's like, okay, whatever. But, this was one where I was on the tracks.
Yeah.
And whatever Neil Druckmann, the director, was trying to do, for me, it worked, right? And so it's this perfect connection. And now they're going to have a nice short version that you can consume, but it will never be as good as the thing that I did. And so I don't know how to feel about that.
So you're afraid that you're going to get Cowboy Bebop'd again.
This could go a bunch of different ways, but it might be that in 10 weeks, when the show is completely aired, you've watched it and you're like, oh, that was good, right? I get it. I get why you love this. It's good. And that's all you need to think about, right? It's like you got a version of it that is, I wouldn't be so concerned if it wasn't my favorite thing.
Yeah.
But it's that thing where it's like, oh, it's my favorite thing. I wish that you could go through it.
But think about it like this. Assuming they don't Cowboy Bebop it, where they kind of lose the essence, they lose the themes, and they just, chalk it up to flashing lights and shit. Assuming they translate it and take the themes out, the stuff that you like, and put it in this medium, and, you probably won't like it as much because it's a third of the time or way less of the time. But, there's a lot of people who just aren't gamers. It's not their medium. There's a lot of people who can't read a book. And so if they make a good show or a good movie out of a book, it hits a lot of people. And then some people even go and read the book. So the same with this. If it's like blows me away, I mean, I haven't gamed in 10 years, so I'm not me. But then gamers might go play it. So if they capture the essence that you like, what's so bad about that? People are getting a taste of what you love.
You might be right. Hopefully you're right. I'm just sad that you'll never experience, like, because even if you watch the show and you're like, oh shit, that really was the best thing ever, now I'm going to go play the game, and you get to that last moment, it's not going to affect you the same way, because you've already seen, it wasn't fresh and new and shocking the way it was for me.
Well, think about this. When we were kids, I would watch you play video games, and I did not like to play these difficult video games like Metal Gear, whatever, because I couldn't be bothered. It would frustrate me. I get stuck. There's a puzzle. I just wanted you to do it, so you get through the gameplay, and I see the movie clips. I kind of think I just want to see the movie version, just the video clips and not the gameplay.
There is this unique thing that happens, especially in the second one, where because I'm so emotionally connected and now the control is put in my hands, you don't want the story to go a certain way. You're like, and your heart is so broken and you're trying to push it another way. And the stakes are so high and your hands are sweating and you have to do the thing, right? It's not just happening to you. You're not just watching it, but now you personally have to push the button to make the thing happen. It's different.
It sounds stressful almost.
Like, I'll compare it to this. Like, if you're playing Super Mario Brothers and you're playing a really hard level and you die, oh, that's frustrating, right? Fuck, I gotta try it again. I gotta get through this thing. But when Mario is a fully crafted character and it feels like there's a heart there, and there are these deep emotional connections to other characters in the thing, and the stakes are really high, and then that character dies, it's not this, you don't just go, oh, fuck, I'll try again. It can be devastating, right? You're like, no! Even if there's a linear path, it's dramatic as you're doing it because you're emotionally connected to it.
I had the casual version of just sitting back and watching you jump off the couch to remove your controller, to put your controller in another slot, because in Metal Gear, it was like tricking you. It was like, oh, you can't do, and you had to like switch your controller around.
Psycho Mantis, dude. He could read your moves. He knew what you were doing, and he could read your controller.
Now let me read your mind. No, perhaps I should say your past.
Yeah, I would never have thought, I would have just left that I would never finish the game because there was no internet, or I guess there was. I just would have been like, well, this is impossible because it's not working, and been gone.
You know, you're mentioning a very special experience, right? Because fucking Hideo Kojima, he really wants to play with the medium, and he's going to tell you to go do things in the real world or hint at them, and you have to go, and you're like, what? I thought I was playing a video game. What is going on here? You know, it's kind of like mind expanding, right? You're like, oh, I thought I was doing this.
Be excited, dude. Fucking the Viper, 2 people from Game of Thrones are in it. That awesome little girl.
I mean, if it sucks, it's probably going to do the same thing that with Cowboy Bebop, where like the Netflix show came out and then I just had a sour taste in my mouth. You could argue, well, the anime is still out there. Just go watch but it's like, oh, now I have this this gross thing in my heart that it's hard to forget, where it just makes me, it feels gross.